Hi everyone, welcome to MR Learning Circle. I hope everyone is fit and fine and doing good in their lives. So this is the 19th lecture of our MCQ series, and in today's lecture we are going to cover the topic of overview of metabolism as well as the glycolysis topic. So I think you all have watched the previous video. If not, then you can find the link of the playlist above here and you can go and watch it. It would be beneficial for your upcoming GATE examination. And if you have not yet got the PDF or the ebook of your microbiology notes, MCQs and MSQ, then you can find the link of that for getting the PDF in the description box. And to connect with me, you can even find the link of the Telegram, the Instagram, everything in the description box. So now let's just start with our topic, that is overview of metabolism. So the first question in this is, an amphibolic pathway is one which options are A, operates only in catabolism, operates only in anabolism, C, functions both in catabolism and anabolism, D, operates only under aerobic conditions. So the correct answer for this question is option C, functions both in catabolism and anabolism. So what are the amphibolic pathways? They are like your TCA cycle. So they function in both the breakdown and the synthesis of your biomolecules. Now we have next question number 2. Which of the following pathways provide both energy and reducing powers? Your options are glycolysis, B, pentose phosphate pathway, C, Kelvin cycle, D, beta oxidation. So the correct answer for this question is pentose phosphate pathway. It yields NADPH, that is the reducing power, and metabolic intermediates for biosynthesis. Now question number 3. The high energy phosphate bond in ATP has a free energy of hydrolysis approximately minus 7.3 kilojoules per mole, B, minus 30.5 kilojoules per mole, C, minus 300 kilojoules per mole, D, minus 3 kilojoules per mole. So correct answer for this question is option B, minus 30.5 kilojoules per mole. So hydrolysis of ATP to ADP releases about minus 30.5 kilojoules of per mole energy under the standard condition. Now question number 4. Which of the following is true about the substrate level phosphorylation? Options are A, requires oxygen, B, occurs in electron transport chain, C, direct transfer of phosphate to ADP from an intermediate, D, occurs only in mitochondria. So the correct answer for this question is option C, direct transfer of phosphate to ADP from an intermediate. So substrate level phosphorylation, it involves direct transfer of phosphate groups during glycolysis and your TCA cycle. Now question number 5. In most heterotrophic organisms, the central metabolic pathway is, options are A, oxalate cycle, B, TCA cycle, C, Kelvin cycle, D, urea cycle. So the correct answer for this question is B, TCA cycle. It connects the carbohydrate, lipid and the protein metabolism, hence control the central metabolism. Hence the central metabolic pathway. Now question number 6. Which coenzyme is primarily involved in catabolic pathways? Your options are A, NADPH, B, NADH, C, FADH2, D, B and C. So correct answer is obviously option D, that is B and C. So catabolic pathway mainly produce reducing equivalent NADH and FADH2 used for ATP generation. Now question 7. The energy charge of the, just a minute. Yes, so question number 7. The energy charge of a cell influences metabolic flux. Which of the following correctly describes how catabolic and anabolic pathway respond to changes in energy charge? Your options are A, both catabolic and anabolic pathway increase when energy charge is high. B, catabolic pathway increases when energy charge is low, whereas anabolic pathway increases when energy charge is high. C, catabolic pathway are independent of energy charge, while anabolic pathway decreases when energy charge is low. D, both catabolic and anabolic pathways are inhibited when energy charge is low. So the correct answer for this question is option B, catabolic pathway increases when energy charge is low, whereas anabolic pathway increases when energy charge is high. Now question number 8. The enzyme that catalyzes oxidation reduction reaction is classified as? Easiest question. Options are A, ligase, B, lyase, C, oxidoreductase, D, transferase. So the correct answer for this question is C, oxidoreductase. Question number 9. In a metabolic regulation, allosteric enzymes usually, options are A, follow Michaelis-Menten kinetics, B, are reversible, C, exhibit sigmoidal kinetics, D, are unregulated. So correct answer, C, exhibit sigmoidal kinetics. Why? Because allosteric enzymes show cooperative binding and sigmoidal velocity substrate curves. Now question number 10. Anaplerotic reactions are important because they, options are A, remove intermediates from TCA cycle, B, replenish TCA cycle intermediates, C, inhibit the electron transport chain, D, function only in anaerobe. So the correct answer for this question is B, replenish TCA cycle intermediates. So anaplerotic reactions like the conversion of pyruvate to oxaloacetate, it maintains the TCA cycle balance during biosynthesis. Okay, so that was all for your overview of metabolism. Now we have the glycolysis topic. First question. The net ATP yield per glucose molecule in glycolysis is? Your options are 2 ATP, B 4 ATP, C 6 ATP, D 8 ATP. So the correct answer is 2 ATP. It's usually 2 to 2.5 ATPs. Now question 2. The enzyme catalyzing the first irreversible step in glycolysis is? Your options are A, hexokinase, B, phosphofructokinase 1, C, aldolase, D, enolase. So the correct answer for this question is option A, hexokinase. Hexokinase phosphorylates glucose to glucose 6-phosphate, committing it to the metabolism inside the cell. Now question number 3. Phosphofructokinase 1 is allosterically inhibited by? Your options are A, ATP, B, ADP, C, AMP, D, fructose 2,6 bisphosphate. So the correct answer for this question is option A, that is ATP. So a high ATP indicates energy sufficiency and this inhibits your phosphofructokinase 1, slowing the glycolysis reaction. Now question number 4. Which glycolytic enzyme catalyzes a substrate level phosphorylation? Your options are A, glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dehydrogenase, B, phosphoglycerate kinase, C, hexokinase, D, phosphofructokinase. So the correct answer for this question is option B, phosphofructokinase. So this transfers phosphate from 1,3 bisphosphoglycerate to ADP for the formation of ATP. Question number 5. The enzyme that catalyzes the only oxidation step in glycolysis is? Options are A, triose phosphate isomerase, B, phosphoglycerate kinase, C, glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dehydrogenase, D, pyruvate kinase. So the correct answer for this question is option C, glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dehydrogenase. Now question number 6. In anaerobic conditions, pyruvate is converted to lactate. 2 options are A, generate ATP, B, regenerate NAD+, C, produce CO2, D, inhibit glycolysis. So the correct answer for this question is B, regenerate NAD+. So regeneration of NAD+ allows glycolysis to continue in absence of oxygen. Question number 7. The committed step of glycolysis is? Options are A, the conversion of glucose to glucose 6-phosphate, B, conversion of fructose 6-phosphate to fructose 1,6 bisphosphate, C, the conversion of phosphoenol pyruvate to pyruvates, D, the conversion of glucose 3-phosphate to 1,3 bisphosphoglycerate. So your correct answer for this question is option B, fructose 6-phosphate to fructose 1,6 B-phosphate. So here what happens, your phosphofructokinase 1 catalyzes the committed highly regulated step of glycolysis. Now question number 8. The net NADH produced per molecule of glucose during glycolysis is, options are A1, B2, C3, D4. So correct answer for this question is option B, 2. Now here what happens, each glucose generates two glucose 3 phosphate molecules, each forming one NADH, that is equals to 2 NADH. Question number 9. Which of the following steps of glycolysis is reversible under cellular conditions? Your options are A. hexokinase, B. phosphofructokinase 1, C. pyruvate kinase, D. phosphoglycerate kinase. Correct answer for this question is option D, phosphoglycerate kinase. So step catalyzed by phosphoglycerate kinase, aldolase, etc. are near equilibrium and are reversible. Okay, now question number 10. In glycolysis, which enzyme catalyzes an enolase reaction? Options are A. 2-phosphoglycerate, 2-phosphoenol pyruvate, conversion of phosphoenol pyruvate to pyruvate, C. conversion of 3-phosphoglycerate to 2-phosphoglycerate, D. conversion of fructose 6-phosphate to fructose 1,6 bisphosphate. So correct answer for this question is option A, conversion of 2-phosphoglycerate to phosphoenol pyruvate. So that was all for this lecture. I hope you have learned something from this lecture. If yes, then please do like, share, comment and share it with your friends and whoever needs this. And thank you for watching. And if you want to follow me, have any doubt, you can contact me on the Telegram channel, or you can contact me on the Instagram ID, whatever you want. So thank you for watching. Take care. Keep studying. Bye.